meet everyone in Brazil. This is going to be the first match of the RMRs. Obviously, also through this, we have a very busy schedule. There is a B stream as well going on simultaneously at the same time. So matches over there. So if you're sitting at home, having your coffee.
There's like a C and a D stream as well at times.
Having a little, the NA RMR is going to start tomorrow. That'll be going on at the same time. We got a lot of Counter-Strike this week coming at you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The Asian-Australian RMR, I'm not even sure which one that's called. Oceanic RMR? Sure.
Oceanic.
Yeah. Here we go. Out long. For 4 players. Eternal Fire starting on the T side. Bad News Eagles obviously starting on the defensive side. We got a dually sighting as well early in the morning.
Yeah, well, it's becoming more and more common, Jason. As much as I absolutely hate it.
You've been resisting it as long as you could.
Hit the tooth with that nade, that smoke. And bounce for the cross. 3 on catwalk as well, so they might have a good sense of vision above that. Might be able to try and elevate themselves to catch anyone who goes out by the car. Up close, Emor will lead the way. The big man to cross over for a secondary flash inside of that smoke to make sure they aren't spotted. And he hits the shot onto Juan, who's tagged down. 2 inside that same position at Gandalf. If he rounds the corner, okay, first one's easy. He knew, he saw them both. Senyuri gonna go down as well. Regan the only one back so far as Emor falls, but this is a good boost. Reverse elevator, and close enough as well he can jump up. They weren't expecting that. What a play, but he runs out of ammo. Everything was perfect except for the reload. Still no bomb plant on top of this. 2-on-2 advantage now with B&E.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. The boldness to jump up there. There's the dually. Second kill of the round straight down onto woxic, and it's just major. He was phenomenal during Pro League. That's a tough affair, and a 3rd kill for GXX. 1-0.
1-0 indeed. Man, oh man, that was a bit awkward. Jumped up, but that was pretty smart. You go from reverse elevator to walking it close enough to jumping up, and then he runs out of ammo.
Who was the first player that got gushed as well? Because when he tucks it behind that box and there's 2 players there, I'm like, that guy needs to die. He needs to swing and die so that this doesn't happen, right? Yep. That's juanflatroo. Needs to actually swing so that nobody pushes him, so you kind of play the game that they don't assume anyone is going to be at that box, and that's what would allow the bait and switch to activate. Thank God his teammates are there for the recovery. Pistol round to the Bad News Eagles.
Nades inside of the tunnels already. Major and XANTARES over on that side. Remember, best of 1. So that pistol round is significant. Like Maniac was saying, there's no time, no margin for error to recover on situations such as that. GXX will wait at the doorway with the M4 in hand. Coincidentally, both of these teams are staying on the same floor at the hotel, Jason.
Oh,
they're on my floor.
So you could be playing pranks on them.
Oh, no.
Or they could be playing pranks on each other.
Yelling at each other. You know, maybe they could have kept each other. Maybe they could have sent underage people to knock on their door all night.
Okay.
And then that's a reference to Matthew Vanderpool.
Okay, that's a very obscure reference.
Yeah, it's not if you're a cyclist, okay?
Okay. So like all 5 of them.
That happened like a week ago.
Sure. Well, deep nade. Little chip damage onto 3 players. Smoke gonna go out in the sky. Second round by. Galil on Major. Scout on woxic as well. Another nade rains in. That one should do decent damage. Yeah, tags Paz up very, very well, down to 51 HP. Good defense so far for Bad News Eagles.
Major coming out from the smoke, though, trying to find a way in. Needs to be careful. Turned his back because he was worried of a flash. They nearly peeked on top of it. Doesn't matter if they did or didn't. Juanflatroo gonna get the first. XANTARES finds a shot back onto him. We know how good his aim is, but it can't beat a crossfire from Regan and GXX from Ramp and Goose, respectively. Emor and woxic. Woxic with the first shot, able to hit that with the scout, which softens them up. The Deagle still can't do damage, and the M4 can from range. And consolation now for woxic. Look at this. Synopsy's like, yo guys, you want me to kill him or not? Like, go. He's got a scout. He's looking at his digits. Oh,
they want to do
after the time. That was actually pretty smart. I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, take it back.
Wow.
They know what they're doing.
Synopsis says Sadokist is an idiot.
That's a very nice round. Great defense mounted and no success whatsoever for Eternal Fire. And yeah, this is a thing of beauty. woxic probably should have been a little bit more aggressive to prevent that from happening, and that's a harsh sequence, harsh turn of events. Oh, look at the armband, the compression band on the forearm. Here we go. Push into lower dark. Chance to make a lot of extra bonus money, a lot of bank. There's unarmored pistols on the other side and a few deagles picked up, but this SMG should be able to chew up XANTARES before he can get a whole lot done. Gets 1 tag. Nice, easy kill.
Ooh, okay. juanflatroo got that. I was going to say, how did he hit that with a stray bullet through the door? Oh my. They overlooked Major down below. He gets a deagle shot that's lovely. Puts them down a man, but still they're in a 4-on-2 and looking pretty comfortable with the weapons that they have. GXX going to take out Imor, so another kill for the MP9. Good money to be built up, and 3-0 start. So now, as we say, need time to get back into this.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting, I think, for a round like this where the guns are going to come out. Obviously, woxic is going to be limited. He was phenomenal for Eternal Fire during the Pro League group stages. Unfortunately, not able to make it into the playoffs, so they've had some time to practice and rest and fix some of the issues. But this is where you hope once the guns and the AK-47s come out, all that talent, all that skill, all that raw ability that propelled them to some very strong upsets throughout that week in the group stage, it's going to shine here. We're going to get a quick, I believe, tech pause. Yeah, headphones off. Classic.
Yeah,
So,
it is a classic, isn't it?
just to, since we got this time, we can kind of walk you through the schedule for the day. Here on the main stream, we've got obviously Bad News Eagles, Eternal Fire facing off right now. At 12:15 scheduled time to start is going to be G2 taking on Ecstatic. Then it's going to be FaZe versus Gamer Legion. And the opening salvo of matches is going to be ended with quite a banger. NIP taking on Astralis. Rough draw for those two to get some tough teams in the first go of it. And then over on the B stream as well, if you're interested in any of those matches, obviously you can find all this on hltv.org as well. The schedule for the B stream will be Sprout versus Fours. That'll be the first game that's going on simultaneously right now. Cloud9 versus B8. Bait, I guess we'll call them. I'm imagining that's what they're going for there. Spirit versus One Win, and Aurora versus Fnatic.
I know you're a fan of Aurora.
Oh yeah,
Big time.
great tunes.
Good tunes. Look, they were. I was briefly reading through some of the articles posted about each team respectively and the history, and that they could be a team that could surprise a few people. The Aurora guys.
Okay. Okay, so you've been swayed by the propaganda, is what you're telling me.
I love propaganda. What can I say? As a Canadian, it's very, very common. You know,
Sure.
We see all of it from America.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, they could. And Fnatic, we know, hasn't been perfect lately. They've gone through some stepping stones. Obviously, Brolin leaving that team, and where does that leave them, etc. So could be an interesting aspect. We're getting a stop call, so I think the same
no damage
issue,
has been done.
Yeah, and it's early enough in the round, so same issue persists. It is going to be called out from the Bad News Eagles, which is where we saw the admins a moment ago. So we'll sit this one back, and I think it was possibly sound related, but the admin was definitely in there typing whatever. So.
Yes, we had a little bit of a PC lag issue. As you can see, the admin going to crouch down.
Yeah, and that's Synopsy that they're working with right now.
Yeah. We had some experience with this back in Pro League. We know how to handle it. This is over on the B stream while we have some downtime. Sprouts taking on Fours.
That's actually...
Sneaky cool game. Refresh,
Yeah,
Refresh coming in, a new addition to the Sprout team as they've had to reshuffle some of the roster and some of the lineup.
And they had a great start with him jumping in right away. They found some success in some of the qualifiers to get them to events and get them back on sort of a relevant page. There he is on screen right now.
And obviously Fours as well. I'm a big fan of Jerry, personally. Jerry's a wonderful player to follow and listen to.
Fair enough. No, I mean, this is definitely a game that again, best of ones. That's a tough one to call. Inferno is a great best of one map. Give it that. It's kind of the decider eternally. So
it's fun, man. Like you get all the conversation with the pros. Obviously, that conversation circling around best of fives that we had after the Pro League finals. BO3s the whole way through ESL Pro League, and now going into the RMRs, and you get a chat with the pros here, and they're all just like so stressed over BO1s. They're like, we hate this shit. So it's gonna be, I agree with what Maniac said. There's gonna be some curveballs this week. There's gonna be a few upsets, and obviously, you know, you can't get eliminated in best of ones, but there's certainly gonna be some crazy things going down this week, as there always are in the RMRs. The majors seem to bring out the upsets.
yeah, I think that's absolutely fair. I mean, you can go back in history and see some of the teams that were beat by underdogs at the time. NIP getting knocked out by Vegas Squadron.
That's going way back, baby, yeah.
Dude, it seems like just yesterday. When you're this old, it all blends together. But either way, I think that there's always one or two teams, especially now that everyone has to requalify. No one is sacred in this. No one is going to be saved. So
yeah, and it's obviously there's so much in the line. So a lot of these teams, like the teams we don't normally see in the I guess the tier 1 circuit, we'll just call it, in the ESL circuit, within the Blast circuit as well. You know, teams like sometimes the Sprouts and the Fours, this is what they're preparing for. This is the big thing. They don't have like a Cologne and a Katowice always. They don't have the pro leagues to kind of.
Well, this is how you get to those.
Yeah, exactly. They don't always have those in their schedule. So this major is kind of it's the prize at the end of the long road for those squads. Intense chatter going on. I like that hat.
Do you?
Yeah, nice and black. That's it. Just
Cool.
standard black, basic.
Yeah, keeping it real. Nothing like hats. Remember the hat rule? Poor Taco.
Yeah, controversy back then as well. All those rules caused some issues initially. Nobody likes change, Matt.
It's absolutely true. No one does. But change is the only constant, some would say, Jason. And I came up with that myself.
Okay, so if we throw that on a picture of a mountain and make it an inspirational quote.
Yeah, why not? You know, because it's definitely not been said 1,000 times.
Yeah.
When you're mountains in the U.S., I saw a good meme the other day. It was Mount Rushmore's view from Canada, and it was just the butts
Back
sticking
of
out the other
the butts.
side.
That's not bad.
It was nice. It was good. Yep.
I've never been to Mount Rushmore.
Good. Don't go. I heard it's terrible. I have no idea. I heard Justin Trudeau's going to get added to it soon.
Oh, yeah, sure. That wouldn't surprise me in the We'll just add him up there.
Well, we'll get this one hopefully underway again shortly as we take a look back into it. Obviously, if it's an FPS or a lagging issue, they should be able to fix that pretty quickly. We know last week we got put through the ringer with some of the delays. They've gone through all the protocols. They've got all the testing.
You got put through the ringer. I got to watch from my hotel room.
Yeah, Chad
this
and
is
I
a new
twice.
experience for me. I never really had those delays.
Well, that's perfect. It's first thing in the morning, Jason. Nothing like waking you up this way. So it's going to be a second or two to fix this one up. They're going to have to dive in a little deeper. You can see them down there just checking hard drives and everything along those lines. So why not, if you're waking up this early in the morning to watch Counter-Strike, aspire to be a pro? And here's a tip from Rushley on how you can do that.
Hey, attention, future pros.
Future pros. Step.
Hey Future Pros! I have a quick and easy B-side door smoke on Dust2 for you, so listen up. To throw the smoke, position yourself next to this big stone beam. Crouch down and aim within the gap in the sky. Then stand and throw the smoke. Super easy, super effective, should help you get into B.
Nothing like tzatziki Pringles in the morning.
Well, there you go.
Are we back?
Tzatziki Pringles in the morning. That's what I was thinking out of that break as well.
I didn't even know tzatziki Pringles existed.
I didn't know either. I thought that was like I ate one and didn't even know what I was eating. And
It's
then,
very intense. They've somehow managed to blend in the flavor of the cucumber appropriately as well.
did you know that tzatziki was actually created as a stomach aid for digestive purposes?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's originally what it was made for.
That's
and we are
great.
going to digest some Counter-Strike, Jason, because we're back into this. Woxic will start us off by going toward long. They now have the AWP out. He's going to start it with a hit, but he's going to burn alive for that. So it's a 1-1 trade. Emor will at least pick up the AWP.
Yeah, but that's a nice thing to find if you're Bad News Eagles.
Oh, they think they're going to hold this.
That's such a disgusting push. Yeah, don't push it now. You've made the play. You can just chill. You can hang out. I love it. Big risk, but he's in position to get a big reward down the stretch. And even a smoke behind him to fool Eternal Fire into thinking that nobody's actually done this. And he can hear all these footsteps. So juanflatroo just trying to find a timing.
Well, Imor going away from that, though, is heading back toward Catwalk with that AWP. Bit of a run boost. It throws XANTARES around the corner a little bit faster.
No one's actually defending the A bomb set at the moment. Oh, another aggressive push. Another bold play that might net some results. Oh, the timing to lower B. He's just safely gonna get past it. He sees the head, grabs the kill up towards Catwalk. Again, a 1-for-1. But now it's juanflatroo's turn to make his move from long.
juanflatroo has made the push, and the bomb goes down. So the first gun round looking like Bad News Eagles are in control again as well. This is gonna have to be so careful if you're Eternal Fire. We talked about it. These guys beat Liquid in the group stage. They beat Mouse online just a week ago, both playing from here, so the pings were very similar. XANTARES gonna swing, try and find an angle. Can't quite get it through the smoke. It's the op shot from GXS nearly lands, but Synopsis, oh, he gets wrecked. Turns away from the flash. They go in front of it. XANTARES with his aim. Classic head removal.
Yeah, that's actually a sick play. He throw it up in the air and peek with it, and he knows the defender's probably gonna have to turn away. That's a huge advantage to give himself. 2-on-2 bomb planted, as you said. Both have kits, but no utility on the Bad News Eagle side. And I think Eternal Fire looks like they both know that both players are in tunnels.
Oh, Paz has the angle to hold it. He's gonna wait, spots the first, but doesn't get the shot off. Tries, he goes down. It's XANTARES in the corner, though. You've got a lot to deal with. They might check this. They're gonna double swing it. They're gonna jump, and they're gonna take him out. What a retake, GXX. And they'll get to this plenty of time for the kits. It's gonna go now 4-0 in a best of one, remember. Man, Eternal Fire needs to get some flame lit. No, I was about to say extinguished. That would have been...
Yeah, that would have been the wrong one, yeah.
It's early in the morning, Jason. Yeah. Where's my coffee?
It needs to get lit. It always needs to get lit.
Yeah, let's get lit up in here.
I gotta say, that's a really rough position to be in if you're Paz in the post plant. Like, there's a lot of time for him to find a new position, and he might have been maybe worried from someone at window or something along those lines, but you gotta almost like take the risk. When they come from holes, like, there's nowhere for you to go. You're just standing on top of a barrel, and you better hit your shot, and obviously he didn't, which turns this into a 4-0.
Got the Allen Iverson fans up in there with the sleeve on.
Talking about practice?
No, we're talking about game. A best of one game that's 4-0 right now. I did wonder, like, some of those people where, I haven't seen too much in gaming, but some people, like, prefer long sleeve when they game. So I haven't seen a sleeve like that in esports yet, but, like, it changes the friction on the table. Yeah, of course. It's for consistency. One of the things that a lot of people don't talk about, and I've noticed it here in Malta, and I'm surprised some of the players haven't mentioned it, is one of the biggest changes from an online environment to a LAN environment. Sure, you can get used to table sizes, your layout and whatnot. It's humidity. You can't control, and here it's very humid, which does actually create, I find, a bit of a friction on the mouse pad that you might not be used to.
Right.
Which is, I know it's like, that sounds crazy to think that it's that specific, but it is. At this level, it is. You have a guy like XANTARES who's used to nailing heads. If he's like a millimeter off, that's a huge difference. So we'll get a humidity and weather reporting.
I was gonna say, what are we bringing, a weatherman into this? Let's, server conditions, literally, no longer a meme. XANTARES is going to get the opening kill, and he's going to pull a teammate back over with him. GXX to join up. Meanwhile, juanflatroo's gone down back at the A bomb site, which means XANTARES can challenge over the smokes off Catwalk, but there's still paths to deal with out at long, and in middle, Synopsis got another.
woxic trying to do anything he can with that scout through the doors, but running up Catwalk, they're going to know they're there, and XANTARES still downstairs in the pit is going to find one. It's Rion that actually found woxic. XANTARES with two very quickly, but he had all the information. Unfortunately, he has to go back for the bomb and that Molotov. Nope, he realizes it after. Can't get the reload, and he's got to stick to the pistol. Oh my goodness, he's got that as well. He's pulled this back to a one-on-one. 8 seconds to hold the bomb plant, but is he aware that XANTARES gone all the way around from pit, and he's going to be working up Catwalk? He's absolutely not.
What a save. That's too much, though. I mean, first of all, the first 2 kills from XANTARES are great. That's a nice double kill to find, considering you creeped your whole way to the bomb site. They had no idea you were that advanced. They lost track of him. But after that, I mean, the 1v1 on Catwalk is brutal. Steps in front of the Molotov and wasn't really even prepared for the fight. 5-0. Good recovery from XANTARES. I think Eternal Fire is going to have to take a timeout. Maybe the problem with Eternal Fire, remember, part of their great performance during the group stage at Pro League was going on while they were playing in another online qualifier at the same time. They were playing like 5 matches a day, so maybe we just need to get these guys like signed up for another tournament during the RMR.
Wow. It's not a lot of time for that again. It is Swiss system, so they'll get Swiss down to the 0-1. if they can't pull this back. But it's 5-0. It's not gone yet. We're gonna get the first tactical timeout, obviously called now, to get them involved in this. Let's see what can be brought forward by the gang. Emor sitting far right of screens. XANTARES second from left. Two of the guys you're definitely going to want to see. Paz is certainly ready to roll, but we're back underway.
Back underway, 5-0. And out of the couple that round from XANTARES, not really a whole lot to talk about for Eternal Fire. They did at least get a bomb plant 2 rounds ago. I mean, last 2 rounds, actually. They got the bomb down in both of them. Lost the 2v2, then lost the 1-on-1 there, although I would say started as a 1-on-4 for XANTARES. Out towards long with bodies. They've got all 5 players coming through the long cave.
Yeah, but look at juanflatroo. If he realizes this, he can go all the way around mid right now. He can pinch again. He's playing for information on catwalk. Barrels pull his position, and that's actually misleading because sometimes with the smokes down, you see a fragment of a player, but you don't see the barrel, and it's hard to find. But woxic makes no mistake as that smoke slowly dissipates, and he makes a clean headshot toward the site.
Yeah, that's not a great challenge from the bomb site in towards pit. That's a very risky challenge, and woxic comes out on top of it. Now there's a lot of players about to attempt to cross, but I don't think the smoke wall got up before Emor tried to make his run. He goes down. Saneri, he's going to swing wide, and this shot from woxic means he can grab one. Another 1-for-1 trade.
XANTARES immediately gets the bomb back as well on top of that. Rigon back in position. He's going to take out Major, and he knows he's inside of the smoke. XANTARES is in a bit of an awkward situation here because he doesn't know where to strike first, and he can't get an angle. Rigon's walked through, and it's clean. XANTARES down to 27. He's got to find a second. He can't do it. Synopsy is going to find that shot, and it's 6-0 for the Eagles.
So much of the initial kills for BNE coming out at that bomb site, you could see it. It forces woxic out of the pit. He's losing teammates. He's losing players, so there's no more point to him being a supportive element back in the pit. He's got to push up towards car and actually fight and actually challenge and actually try and get into the bomb site, and that ain't working. Nice 1-for-1s across the board the whole way through. XANTARES can't get anything done. Synopsy is going to take him out at the end of the day, and there it is. There's that cheering. Bad News Eagles getting fired up into this game. Eternal Fire, they're still not lit, as you would say.
That is what I would say. Or I would say not yet extinguished. They are, so.
Well, you can only get extinguished if you're lit already, so let's first step forward.
Juan gonna get more than? Oh no, he's not gonna get more than Juan. It's gonna be Sanari that comes out to try and compensate for that, but XANTARES with a good shot. Sees one down below as well, and he's got an M4, so he can hold the headshot angle, but Rigon's got that instead. 7-0.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, and certainly when you've won a couple clutches, when you've had a couple good defensive holds, that's gonna fire you up. That's gonna let you know that everything's working. Complete other story for the Eternal Fire side, still with 0 rounds on the board. woxic is gonna have the op back in hand. AK-47s, they have the full losing bonus, obviously. Money for Bad News Eagles isn't great, so Eternal Fire has an avenue back into this game, and that's a great tag to start the round.
Shot him in the knee. He'll jump over to B. It's going to be a compensation from this play, though, by GXX getting aggressive on catwalk, and he might find one as well. Sees the smoke. Another flash, excuse me. So that pushes him back off the angle. Doesn't want to re-peek that, knowing that it's likely an AWP that's dropped down in that position. XANTARES, meanwhile, can try and hold from the underpass. There we go. He's going to push on this. Smoke's going to go in, so he'll be sitting inside of that, but this could be misleading. If they think that smoke is for safety, it's not. He's going to walk in. Oh, Major gets lucky to get his gun back out in time.
Really fortunate. That was almost a really well-timed push, even with low HP. In fact, if he had full HP, he might have been able to actually win that one out, but an easy cleanup for Major after the tag from woxic to start the round. Bad News Eagles, maybe perhaps first time they've had to play, our first step back with a disadvantage here. 4v5, and Saneri's down very, very low.
XANTARES will change his positioning. As two will GXX, he'll come back through CT. Bomb waits top side of catwalk toward mid. XANTARES just jumping, looking for information. He's not going to see anything. So what's the call going to be from Major? Because he's the... Okay, he's coming back. I was going to say, he's the only one over toward B that could actually start to look for information. And with only one player that side of the map...
They're hitting up cat. Major's going to lurk at the mid-double doors. He's going to try and cut off rotations. Let's see how this initial defense goes. It's been great so far. There's the first one from juanflatroo. Oh, and it is perfect. It is lovely. 4 quick kills, and it's just Paz.
My, oh my. Dust2 for a best of 1, and you've got 0 on the T side. 8-0 for Bad News Eagles.
Well, that was one of the questions we kind of touched on was what are they going to look like? I mean, you know, since that great run, since that really fun storyline to follow back in Antwerp, I feel like, you know, it's been a little bit quiet or extremely quiet for Bad News Eagles. Not hearing a whole lot about them, but I mean, they've had a good run leading into this major. They beat Sprout 2-1 recently, Endpoint 2-1, Sinners 2-1, Falcons 2-0. So they've got some good wins on the board coming into this. It's an 8-match win streak for the Bad News Eagles coming into the RMR. So they've at least got some momentum built up. And these kills just happen so quick. There's the off onto XANTARES. CSGO's able to grab a couple more, and Paz only able to get one in garbage time when the round is essentially already decided. So timeout is complete. Round number 9 coming in. And Eternal Fire, I mean, they're going to drop down to Tech 9s, have a half buy of some sort.
Rush B?
They're shuffling the little weapons too much. For a timeout, it did take them quite a bit of time to get that investment in. Might be talking through some things in T-spawn, saying who's throwing what, making sure everyone's got the appropriate nades. But obviously not a rush B, but it might be an explosion. Not B or mid. But look at the setup from B&E. Reading the play. 2 inside the B bomb site, 2 in middle.
GXX dodging flashes, brings Rigon back out to the doors, and he'll put a Molotov out through the door. GXX comes back and picks out the one you'd like to find. XANTARES, the only one that's really fragging on the, well, I suppose Major's on 6, but XANTARES at 9 right now for EF.
Another kill. Another kill for Rigon. 5 on 3. They're trying to jump up towards Catwalk now. Scenarii may be over-rotated. He's pulled himself out of the A bomb site. It's not the biggest thing in the world because with the full losing bonus, Eternal Fire was going to have so much money. They're going to be buying next round no matter what, even if they don't get a plant. The question is, this kind of just puts you in a little bit of a dangerous position if you're B&E for the retake, where you could actually lose a few players that you'd like to not lose.
Ooh, good shot from multikill. GXX around the corner. Synopsy, everyone dead. But you're right, the bomb plant will give them a bit more money. Just want to point out quickly as well, 15 kills right now for GXX after 9 rounds, so he is looking sharp.
This is a spanking.
Ooh, give me one, daddy.
I know. Looks like Eternal Fire paid extra.
You make it sound, yeah, you make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Well, you know, different kinds of spankings.
Oh, they're using the belts. Okay, got it.
Thanks for taking that one over the line. I knew I could count on you.
I always do.
Woxic down middle.
Do you need 5 in goal? I will push it that far.
Yep. Well, he's only got 2 kills, Woxic. Same with Paz and same with Emor. So you mentioned it earlier, just the fragging production from Eternal Fire is not there. We haven't seen that kind of typical Eternal Fire team that we saw in Group D of Pro League, just fragging and banging out and wide swinging and just supreme confidence in everything they do. I met an Eternal Fire fan here yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, he flew in from London.
Well, that's tough.
To come watch the playoffs.
Ah, yes, of Pro League, of course. Yep.
Yes. I don't think this hotel has any more rooms to give out. Pretty sure Counter-Strike has overran the hotel entirely. Changed all the branding. I think every conference room is now a match station.
It's insane.
32 teams here.
Oh, it's insane. They
I see
everything.
I see the occasional like old couple on vacation, like 70 years plus, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're probably so confused. How did we end up here?
You were looking to chill and relax, and that's just not happening this week.
No, you got. Although the pool's going to be pretty quiet.
Yes.
You know, because sunlight burns vampires, and therefore none of the gamers will be outside. More through the door. Rigon going to be holding the crossfire. One's gone inside of the smoke, so he's safe for not looking the wrong way. But XANTARES with the opener. Chance maybe they can get toward B. Synopsy only able to get 1. Okay, Paz just backs off and finds one sticking through a little bit too far, and this is their best chance at a round yet.
Yeah, I don't even think Bad News, if they can find woxic in middle, then you can go for it, but it's got to be quick. Look at the HP on Major as well. So if they do eventually go for this, there's some soften up players, but they got to be really careful about woxic's positioning with the off. They need to hard clear this. Hard clear it, they will. Scenari's got it. Woxic was hoping they would just go by. Kits in hand. 2 HE grenades as well. Major's gonna go down in tunnels, and now it's a 2-on-1. Paz can only get the first, and BNE, another picture perfect retake, and GXX 16-2.
That's so insane. It's B, you're down a man. EF is desperate to score one, and they still just waltz into the site like they own it. That's crazy. This isn't even close. I don't know what's going on. 3 or 4 timeouts used. Yeah, you better. Luckily, it's a Swiss system. Sure, you're going to have best of 3s at the end of this, but wake up, Eternal Fire.
Yeah, this is not the event where you want to have a wake-up call. This is not the event where you want to start out slow, regardless of whatever format it is, and you got some chances to bounce back, but this is scary. Remember as well, they missed out on the Pro League playoffs because of a slow start in the group also. That came down to the last day. And they just got beat by, I think it was by tiebreaker with Team Liquid.
Yeah, it was. They actually would have made it through to the playoffs over Liquid,
Team
who
Liquid
made the finals. Yeah, but Liquid obviously beat Cloud9. The one map wouldn't have done it. Look at this. They're loving it. It's hard to beat that. You've got one team on the other side that's like, we just want to go back to a major. We just want to get there. We don't care about anything else. And Eternal Fire, who's been struggling and close in other tournaments and maybe just don't have that same desire, that spark, no pun intended, in their game right now because, man, oh man, Bad News Eagles, this is like emphatic on day one. They're just so emotionally invested.
Yeah, well, you gotta capitalize on this if you're Eternal Fire. Stand on the barrel of 0 to 10. You've got a 5-on-4 advantage provided by woxic on the cross. You need to be able to win this round. You need to be able to come out on top. GXX with the AWP is looking around the edge of the smoke and saying, no one's jumped in the pit. I got all the information. Nobody's home. Nobody's there. There are 3 defenders at this part of the map. So at the moment, Bad News Eagles very far out of position. But you imagine Juanflatroo is going to be activated at some point to clear out long because Regan is in a very tough situation back at the B-bomb site as they rotate to his side of the map.
Major. On flash through the other one side of this right now. Gonna flash himself in. Doesn't catch Major because it goes far deeper. They weren't aware, I think, that he was so far forward. XANTARES will get Regon. It's awkward that Major didn't get that kill. He ran out of ammo. Scenario survived by 1 bullet and then turns around and kills him. That's kind of crazy, but this is still at B.
It's awkward that Scenario didn't get the kill with the M4 either. That was a very, that fight had some struggles in it. But look, let's just say, gotta be, give some credit. Eternal Fire's on the board for the first time. We'll focus on that fact. Doesn't matter how it happens as long as it happens. 1 kill at the end when the round is already decided for woxic is going to make this a very expensive round. So Bad News Eagles, despite a 10-0 start, we mentioned it earlier, money is not the prettiest thing in the world. So
and that goes back to XANTARES getting them down to that one-on-one without.
Yeah, they've never been able to build anything up significantly, have they? So Eternal Fire is going to have a chance to stack 2 in a row, and then all of a sudden you can claw this back to a 10-5, which seemed silly to think about just a round or 2 back.
That is, I mean, that's the thing with Counter-Strike right now. The current ecosystem in it with, you know, the way that momentum is built and lost so easily. You never rule out a score. I mean, look at even the major final. Yes, the major final that was last week. The Pro League finals last week, obviously 11-4 at half. Liquid didn't look anywhere near it on Mirage. They come back to win that one. So we've got full buys on both sides, but like you said, pretty low. Voxic's gonna smoke Rigon this time. Never mind that E-cap, he's got him straight.
Yeah, $1 in the kitty for that shot.
Ooh, but it's paid back in full by GXX.
That's great. But I mean, think about woxic. I think there's been, he tagged a player on the cross earlier in the half, and he's got back-to-back rounds where he's found the opening kill down middle as well. So some nice shots from woxic, even if he can't build upon it here in round 12. Over to the B-bomb site. 4-on-4. XANTARES going to be in middle. He could choose to come back up and challenge through B tunnels, but once again, Synopsy, he didn't get a single kill in the previous round when they challenged him here. And he's out of the B-bomb site now. Look at the convergence of Bad News Eagles towards middle. Juanflatroo and Scenario pushing Catwalk. GXX and Synopsy in middle. They might try and crunch this presence, but they're going to lose the B-bomb site for it.
XANTARES still just waiting it out.
GXS has 1 flashbang for support of his B defender.
So that open roof to smoke out toward the doors. GXX will see that flash in. Him and Synopsy in a spot that's very vulnerable to fire, but there isn't any. There's 1 Molotov. Emor could put that down. He's going to go now late. It's going to be the nade instead. GXX with a shooting gallery already has 2. And poor old Major is limited and locked in. He's trying to bait with the gun barrel at this point, I think, trying to get his teammates through the window, but nearly doesn't work out. Scenario's still going to get Major.
What a round from GXX. Just wonderful shooting in a high-pressure situation. He's rotating in when that hit begins. He doesn't have a whole lot of time to set his feet and get comfortable and line up a shot. It's got to be fast, and he delivers 3 kills. And the 2 critical ones to slow this down entirely. That one there and the one over towards Car that we caught afterwards. Good job in middle to take care of the lurk, and then it's easy to clean up Major towards the end. A double peek inside the bomb site, and Eternal Fire can only muster a single round.
And that brings money back into effect for B&E on round 13. Get out of each other's way now, lads. Woxic flashing himself around the corner. That'll catch out GXX, who's behind the car this round. Oh, I think he was spotted. Yeah, he was. Woxic saw that.
Molotov out. He's got a smoke if he needs to deploy it.
Gonna light the car up. Imor with the kill, converting with Major on that as they both sprayed in. And they'll shuffle around some utility. Regon has to rotate over as a result of this.
At least Eternal Fire's finding the opening kills at the moment. Like, I guess in a certain sense, that's all you can really ask for. This is now 3 rounds in a row where they found the opening kill, but look at Synopsy. Gonna make up for the lack of manpower with a ton of information. He's like, screw B, we don't need it. And oddly enough, XANTARES is about to go challenge and clear the B bomb site. That might pull Eternal Fire back into this aggression, but Synopsy's sinking back on Catwalk.
Ooh, XANTARES is already there, and he hears that jumping.
Regan's dead.
Expect that. Does he go?
He doesn't know it yet, but he's dead.
Oh yeah, he's nailed it. Smoke down to CT. Synopsy. Oh, this could be huge though. They have to check this.
Okay.
Surely he knows he's beaten them. Flash comes through, they do check it, but he's a step further forward than the stairs. Oh, he's gonna get caught with that second flashbang. Out, still finds the second shot, Paz down, and suddenly he's given them a chance. A winnable situation. XANTARES jumping for information.
Yeah, but Woxic's on the other side of the map, and no one's home. This is actually a 2-on-2. I don't know if Bad News Eagles realize it quite yet, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna press the issue regardless.
Through the flames already. Juanflatroo finding the first shot. He's gonna put XANTARES to 29. They get closer and closer. Nades on top of it as well, but they double it up. They'll burn XANTARES alive. Doesn't matter. It's post-round. It's 11-2.
If they could have been a little bit more patient with that Molotov being thrown out into the bomb site, they would have found the fights they wanted. That's great swing from Eternal Fire to find those kills. They had to get them quickly. It's not going to be any kind of a happy situation. You can see nobody looks pleased on the Eternal Fire side, but this was desperate. What a transfer from Imor. His teammate's going to burn alive as well. 11-2, and Bad News Eagles out of money. They tried to call it tack paw. Oh, dude, this is awkward. Oh, no.
Woxic's got Synopsy down.
So you guys don't see it in chat. They tried to call a tactical timeout right at the end of freeze time, and they missed it.
Yep. So you're trying to extend the timeout as long as possible.
Because they wanted to talk over the fact that they were going to buy around this AWP, but getting out of spawn late means Synopsy's already been picked off because you got late to the angle, GXX has an op, and you have no game plan around it.
Yeah, and effectively you do it at the end of freeze time because you get the 15 seconds, should be 14 if you do it right, and then the 30 seconds, and then freeze time begins again. So that's the plan behind it, but obviously that didn't work out, and you're giving EF a chance to potentially find a third round now.
And you've invested a ton of money into this. Juanflatro's got 2K, but Regan down to 200. GXX at 450 after the alt buy. He's going to park him, so he's over in the B bomb site for the moment. They ain't going there. XANTARES is challenging everything. He's creating a lot of space. Now, they're not dedicated here. There's only 2 players for Eternal Fire, but it's doing work. It's doing exactly what they need him to do. Till then.
Tunnel vision towards CT and gets wrecked from on top of the site. P250 from Juanflatroo.
Scenario's going to go down. 15 HP. He's only got a deagle. They're coming in his direction, and he can't even hide anymore. They know his position. Imor's going to have a freebie as he spams and turns the corner. And there's Major with a kill out towards long. Now it's all about Juanflatroo trying to save this AWP. Will they let him get away is the question.
Well, he's got good positioning to try and do that because he can fall off. But we're looking at 11-3 Eternal Fire. 1 round away from that Zonic Law. You never know what can happen, Jason.
Still banging that one on the head, aren't we?
We're going all out for it, It's the first game, Jason. Let's start it with a banger.
Well, at least he gets to save the ult. It's not a complete disaster, but a little bit of miscommunication. Probably one of the rare moments of disorganization that we've seen from Bad News Eagles in this game. No guarantee they would have won that round anyways, obviously.
XANTARES continues to lead the charge on a grand total of 13 for his team, but Major catching up. He's now on 10.
That's the 3rd mid pick in this half for Woxic.
Yeah, he's been killing it. He's been doing very, very well.
Yeah, but to only have 3 rounds total off the back of something like that, that's got to be frustrating. You don't get those picks.
One of them he was
Every game.
immediately countered, to be fair. He got the shot, and then GXX was there and waiting. But yes, you're right. The opening pick is the opening pick. You want to convert those mathematically. GXX still leads overall 19-4.
Not a bad half.
Not a bad half for your Opper as well. That's pretty astounding.
Yeah, he was able to rack up a lot of kills. The bad news, Eternal Fire was attacking the A bomb site quite a bit to start this half, and most of the success they found has been towards the B bomb site as well. And I mean, that just goes to show you, they are going away from the hot hand, finding success over at B. They've been able to pull some rotations out of the bomb site a couple times. Right out of the gates here as well. 4 people heading to Upper Dark. XANTARES throwing some, oh, look at the crunch. Look at the crunch from Lower Dark and Upper Dark. It's gonna push. It's gonna be a pinch. First one's down, doesn't do anything. Same with the second. The jumping SMG somehow gets 2. And juanflatroo puts it into a 2-on-1. They handle business. It looks sketchy at first, but my God, do they come back.
They do. But XANTARES is the one that's alive, and that's the one that can be the most punishing and damaging out of all of this.
And most throughout this half, they've been able to catch XANTARES out lurking in middle when the B hit is going on, so they probably have a good idea of where he is.
But how quick does he go? Because they're going to be right on his heels.
He's
Pistol for GXX. He's going to give himself up. Saw him already, and juanflatroo over the top. It's 12-3 at half. What a start for a widespread, soaring bad news Eagles. It's the Eternal Fire that needs to get lit. We'll come back after half and find out if there's any chance for it.
Hey Future Pros! Taking long on Dust2 is one thing, but getting to the site can be a whole other challenge. With these simple smokes I'll show you, it should be no problem. You will need 2 smokes for this one, so ask a teammate nicely to drop you one. To throw the first smoke, stand in the corner in front of the barrel, then aim at this point and running through the smoke almost instantly. Then stand at this wall, aim at this point along the line and running jump throw that smoke too. No pick control needed, and you'll be hard pressed to find a gap, so cross the site with a little bit of peace of mind.
Well, we get back underway then, and we nearly had the 11-4 score, but it was shut down at the end. XANTARES, the only one that was really getting much going. Nearly won out a 1v4, but a brilliant rotation out of pit from Sonari shut that down and kept things rolling, and we could see how pleased the Bad News Eagles were with that result and performance, but it's not done yet. They've got to close this. 4 rounds to go for them to do so. They start out on the T side right now.
Yeah, they should be proud of that first half, but it's not done yet. They got to make sure they close this game quickly. Don't let Eternal Fire get back into it. It's a dangerous squad if they start catching momentum and start catching fire. XANTARES going to jump up onto the catwalk, but backs away. It took him a little bit of time to get into that position, though, so I think he just gave it up just based off the fact that he couldn't get up clean in any kind of way. Might have missed the timing he wanted. 3 defenders at this A bomb site. Scenario, Regon, and Synopsy all ready to challenge on catwalk. There's a follow-up smoke to give them some space. Major's got to duck his head down inside the bomb site. XANTARES gets the initial kill, and there goes the bomb site defense. And out towards long. Now XANTARES is exposed, but that's a great shot. They put him down immediately after, but Paz has arrived, and Scenario's challenging.
Yeah, XANTARES is giving them a chance. He knew he had to fight. There was no flight in that one. Had to go against the Eagles that were soaring, and now he immediately gives Sonari an awkward situation because Paz hit a sitter toward Cat. He's looking for the headshot angle. He needs to be careful. 2 there. Emor's arrived. Paz has the shot.
Plant, he could have made that exact same play with the bomb being down. He could have done on the side of the boxes to avoid any kind of jumping danger, any kind of a boost up that there might have been. What a recovery in the pistol round. Great job from XANTARES. This was incredible shooting before he goes down. I think he gets the appropriate double kill. And I mean, killing the player at long as well is the important one, because it prevents, if he doesn't get that, obviously, I mean, there's another player alive, but that decimates any kind of opportunity for a crossfire in the post-plant retake. If it was still going to be a 2-on-2, then the retake or the defender does not have to worry about looking towards long, which is massive to make that easier. Still, without the plant, Bad News Eagles going to have to stick down to unarmored pistols and go for the 3rd round bye.
Not the worst thing in the world considering the scoreline. They can afford to wait a bit. Thatcher trying to come around from the underpass position. XANTARES that's spotting against him, and with that information, woxic tries to go for the shot on the scout, can't hit. So this is B all day long, and therefore we have to keep mention of Major in the back of the site. First shot this time from woxic does land, so a bit of damage done, but here comes the flash pop and go. Major able to duck that one. Looking for it. He's waited quite a while here. He's going to flash his teammate back in rather than go for the headshots, but that means they're going to be looking away from him when the time comes, and even though he's the one in the back of the site, he only gets the last kill.
I guess maybe worried about like a Deagle or an AK-47, and I don't know why I would have thought an AK was up, but maybe just Deagles didn't want to risk it, and he obviously had 2 teammates with him, so he's just like, whatever, you guys can handle it. You guys can get the free kills. Shout out to Major.
It's not a bad play. Like, he's being efficient about it. He's not giving up anything.
And their attention is still got to be drawn towards him as well. He just would have expected him to pop up and fight once in a while, but homeboy doesn't care about eco kills.
Yeah. Screw your RWS ESEA.
What's the equivalent? What's the opposite of an eco cobra?
Full buy bear.
Okay. Thanks for your assistance on that one. Opening kill provided by GXX.
I mean, you asked for the opposite.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. It's my fault. GXX, he did it with the AWP in the first half. Now he's got the entry with an AK-47, and he's got his team long control.
Could be like the Sly saving snake. It's still a snake, right? But it's just
saving snake. Okay.
Sly saving snake, but you gotta get the
slime.
The alliteration. I don't know, chat. What do you got? Anything? Didn't think so.
7-round lead. Flashbang out towards long over the wall so they can turn the corner. Try and get someone off the angle. They'll start creeping up. At least one smoke will come out soon.
Nade ready. Gonna go deep if he doesn't throw it soon, though. That's gonna bounce off the wall and get a little behind them, but here it is. Me with nades and my calls. Well, actually, it was right, because the gun got the kill first, Jason, and it didn't do much damage at all. Finally, I'm on the board. Yeah. As Emor is going to get Seniori down, it's going to be him jumping off the site, though, giving up the platform. So they want to go for a retake with men and strength.
I don't know where the bomb's going, though. There's 23 seconds on the clock. And yeah, he just realized it as he went in towards catwalk. That's an important kill in middle. Synopsy's got to make his way back, but
walking still.
Yeah, there's no smoke wall either.
Go. Hurry up.
They're running this very late. They're going to have to challenge, and I think juanflatroo needs to be involved as well. This round should be impossible.
Yeah, bomb down, and they just hit both shots in the crossfire, so absolutely didn't give themselves much of a chance. It's going to be now 12-6.
I think that was just a mistake of losing an idea of what's happening in the moment, because he could have crossed with the smoke wall while it was still up. There was a few more seconds, and he ran away during the smoke wall's lifespan, and then comes back. So I guess maybe you might be trying to fake Eternal Fire out that they're going to go back to the B bomb site, but you've also got a teammate pinning them down, so the only thing that makes sense is that's just a mistake. And you don't like to see that when you've got that 12-3 lead. You don't want to let Eternal Fire back into the game. Good defensive round for them. That was a 4-on-5. 4-on-5 conversion for Eternal Fire's defense.
Deagle ready to go. Sineri couldn't hit the shot, has to back off. Smoke's down in his favor in that regard because it means Amor couldn't get a shot toward him as he left. But he does get position out of it, so CTs arguably win the exchange as XANTARES goes back inside of spawn instead. He's still looking. Good nade that time. Whoa, just destroyed him. Poor guy walked back out and just saw his death in his own eyes.
Yeah, decimates him. AK-47 still safe from the previous round. It's now being put into action, but XANTARES is going to tuck himself in. That's another a beautiful nade. I bet you wish you called that one.
Oh.
Flashbang to follow it up. A secondary flashbang, and utility just being dumped out by the defenders. This one's done. It's going to be 12-7. They have nowhere to go. They've got no HP with which to fight. I want to swap the AK and the scout.
Not the worst idea. 2 HP. Apparently they don't care because one's gone off on his own, actually. So bomb toward Catwalk in a two-man approach.
He's making the call to save, and he's like, if you guys get us into this round, maybe I'll come back. That's a good shot.
It's a start. Spotted though. woxic drops bomb. That's going to be it. And Ragon knows it now, so he's just going to try and buy some space and time. Does round the corner with the deagle, gets woxic, but he is alone, as you say. The AK's already gone for the okay. He has come back. I don't know why he's bothered. This is not worth it. 5 seconds. Get out now.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, he sees that kill come out from the second deagle, and he's thinking, all right, maybe there's a chance if you get that bomb planted. He might have been able to turn the corner and steal 1 kill to take some economy away, but not worth the risk, as you mentioned, with only the 3 HP. That's a nice nade to find a kill. Shut down in middle as well.
And then the second nade, I think he got like 100 and something, like 150 damage with utility that round alone. That's pretty wild.
We're just 5 rounds back. Another buy for Bad News Eagles.
Smoke downs on XANTARES through that already. He's going to chuck another nade toward the tunnels. Upper that time. Scenario goes down to 77. Major and Paz setting a crossfire inside of the B site with the smoke down on top of it, though. Ooh, lots of shots in toward it. Major gets Scenario. That's 1. This time he's aggressively peeking. He pops up again. Same situation where he's going to support his teammates outside of the site, though, knowing he doesn't want to go down, because if he does, he gives up position. It's Paz and Major that step up late.
Uh-oh, T-side's looking a little sloppy to start for Bad News Eagles. They might want to take their first time out before the next gun round comes in. 4,900 on Synopsy. Money's starting to be an issue for Bad News Eagles. They do have the full losing bonus. Obviously, it's 5 in a row to start the second half for Eternal Fire as they've clawed this back and are almost putting themselves within striking distance. Well done for Major and Paz. Good crossfire setup, and this time Major is challenging at the back of the platform. And this time we are getting some cheers out of the Eternal Fire side. They're starting to wake up. Maybe just rolled out of the wrong side of the bed. Deep flashbang. GXX going to give away the angle. The op is in position. XANTARES goes down. That's in lower dark, so woxic's got to be a little careful.
Synopsy backing off. 2 nades waiting in CT this time. Any more? Wanted to go for 1. He got 1 all right, but then it was an immediate response. GXX with this scout up to 22 kills now. He'll come around the corner to help his teammate out. Juan, who's taking a nade in the shins, but he's down to just 80. Synopsy inside B already. He has to. You're right. He's opened up the site. Look at the rotation he's forced. They're not even going to go on this. They're just going to walk to the A site and plant. This is going to be 13-8, surely.
Yeah, they don't realize they actually run boost across and see nobody there. Major's going to try and creep around towards long, but the defenders are now split as Paz tries to deal with this lurker, and he will do it. Synopsy's going to be pissed at himself for that sequence. That should have been an easy kill, at least one, and now there's a chance for the retake.
Looks for it. Paz, he's actually got an opener. Sonari in a 1-on-2. Suddenly this has turned back impressively. But EF's able to make it this far. Sonari knows that he's got to be close, goes behind the box, tries to buy out the time, but Paz hits the shot, and it's 12-9.
That should be an impossible round to lose. That should be a free kill for Synopsy all day, turns it into a 4-1, and then the round's over. The Deagles landed shots so well. And what a collapse in a huge advantage situation. Yeah, call a timeout. Might just back him up. Two timeouts back to back. Talk about the next round and get over this one. Oh, I can't believe it.
That's ridiculous. And now it's the boot on the other foot. Neither team really putting a T-side together at all. And woo, there's the emotion that we saw the other way around.
Yeah, it has to. You can see it on both faces, the disappointing collapse from Bad News Eagles. They got to get themselves right back into it. Let's see if they can handle that. And obviously the celebrations from Eternal Fire as they find themselves back into a game. 6 in a row, 6 straight to start the second half. This gap closed quick. $22 kills on GXX. XANTARES up at 19, starting to get close to matching the output.
No shot success with the AWP this time, GXX. Woxic certainly had the better of the exchange through the mid doors from an AWP perspective. We're does have a smoke out on the Xbox. Molotov in the lower position as well, and now Flash on Catwalk, so all of that utility expended just to try and get him toward Cat, give him something to work with. Satellite to Catwalk, pretty standard smoke.
Oh, this would be so wild if we watched BNE collapse in the second half. Major and Paz to defend the B bomb site. It's looking like it's going to be a mid to B split as soon as this double doors smoke clears up. Bad News Eagle's going to start moving out. 2 defenders at long, XANTARES and CT spawn. He will be smoked off. He will have a molly in front of him most likely as well. Plenty of utility for Bad News Eagles to work with.
Paz back out. Good flash. Knows there's a second up close. Bomb down. Paz stepping up big time on the CT side so far. And it's going to be a shooting gallery again for Major, who puts damage into juanflatroo, puts him on 20, in fact.
They're saving. They're done. They want nothing to do with this round. And that, I mean, that mid to B split, it kind of gets pulled off, but the B side of the attack never went. There was so much freedom for Major to throw 2 flashbangs for Paz to peek, get a kill, wait for a second flash, peek and swing out double doors to get a second kill. All the time in the world for that B defense to execute the counter that they wanted. Never had any pressure from tunnels, and it's 12-10.
Well, that's a bit silly, I think, at this point, that we're getting such a one-sided matchup. So far, there's only ever been 3 rounds T-side that have been won, and it's all been by Eternal Flame.
Yeah, very defensive.
Eternal Fire,
battle.
Eternal Flame, same thing.
Yeah, it's synonymous.
Copenhagen Fire.
Copenhagen Fire.
And the Eternal Flames.
That's the one. Now we've got there.
Woxic, ooh, just before the flash, goes back out. He's going to double it up. Ragon goes down. And now we have another situation that the Eternal Fire can capitalize on, as Major's got the up-close position at mid. Knife out, jumps across, nade goes back out. It's actually going to be an incendiary, to be specific. So GXX cannot counter the push at all. 2 versus 5, and they're heading toward the AWP that is relocated. And made no mistake on Scenery as well.
You had a lot of this game where Woxic was pretty quiet to run up the scoreline, and you did just that, and now he's woken up, and you don't have the luxury anymore. You got to go up against a top offer. 12-11, Eternal Fire bring this to within 1. This is devastating.
Oh, it's brutal.
I almost feel bad at the moment.
Do you?
That never happens.
No, yeah, it's true. You are a hard son of a... Voxic with 2.
8-0 run in the second half now. And Bad News Eagles haven't even really gotten close except for the one round they let slip away, except for the one round that they already had won. It was a 4-on-1 with gun salvage, with bomb planted. Actually, and they still, or excuse me, I should say 4-on-2. Excuse me.
Has the flash in, but that's just his signal to go. And go he shall. Damage don't. And again, Major waiting for his moment to strike. He's just playing support from the box. It's kind of crazy. And then he seems to pop up every time, find a kill. This time he'll get dinked out, but GXX with the only kill, looking for the shot on the Major. I don't think this one's gonna go too far as they surround and take him down. Major's just like the ultimate aggro bait in the back of the site, isn't he?
Well, also, these have been relatively flat and weak hits into the B bomb site, whether it's, remember, from the split as well, where the B portion of it never got involved in the action. This one is just, I mean, they're coming out at timings, I think. Bad News Eagles, if they want to pull something like that off, it's almost got to be like, it's either got to be a little bit later in the round where there's not this much counter utility, because you're right, Major has all those nades to just chuck out. Molotov, they're trying to execute through smoke as well. Flashbangs are coming in and slowing them down. Time is being made for Paz to get comfortable. Or it has to be much more convincing right out of the gate. They've got to get through that smoke and actually challenging one of them. 12-12.
Yeah, didn't think we'd find ourselves here at the start of this, but like we say, this is Counter-Strike.
And Bad News Eagles have nothing positive that's occurred to make them feel like they know what they can do to get back into this, to win some rounds. They haven't had success at B, they haven't had success on Catwalk, or at Long, or the mid to B split. This is finally starting to look a little bit nice. You pull XANTARES into middle for a rotation.
Major comes back out toward the Catwalk. They have a man advantage to work with. You're right on the B and E side. Continue to work their way up. Smoke down. Good one that time. Bit of a gap on either side, but it's got mostly covered off. Incendiary toward the ramp. That's standard. Major with a nade over the top of it. That's going to do damage onto Scenari and on Flatro, and he gets the first shot as well. And with the secondary Molotov, no plant position available right now for Juan as he has to sit back and wait it out. Another flash. He wants to get that bomb down, and they still have utility. They have an opening from CT as well, and Voxic's going to make good on that. Major's going to take out one Flatro after the bomb went off, but they've got to confront GXX. 24 kills. Looks for another one towards CT. They now know he's over toward the car as expected and anticipated, but he's going to continue to be aggressive. Damaged by the Molotovs. He's going to go down. Major with the kill, and it's going to be EF in the lead.
The experience and the utility from Eternal Fire is decimating Bad News Eagles. No panic from Eternal Fire in that round, even though the bomb site is lost. Major gets the equalizing kill into a 3-on-3, and then it's just constant mollies, delaying the plant a little bit longer, luring them in, using a flashbang to peek, using the utility to readjust on the map and find a new point to attack when. This is the equalizing kill that brought it into the 3-on-3. The mollies eventually burn him alive. Woxic rotates back from Catwalk towards CT spawn, grabs another kill towards car, and there's no counter nades for Bad News Eagle. And how the roles have reversed.
Yeah, I would say it was the best of times and the worst of times, Jason.
Ooh, a little Dickens in there, huh?
The age of wisdom, the age of foolishness, the epic of belief, the epic of incredulity, the CT side of light, and the T side of darkness. The Tale of Two Halves by Charles Dickens.
Wonderful. That's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Literary references.
Yeah.
That's been a minute.
So yeah, it's about the best part of the whole book, really. Just the opening paragraph.
So the only one that people remember.
Yep, that's right. A few other ones in there.
Lower dark aggression from XANTARES just to throw a nade, just to show presence. He's going to back away. But Eternal Fire are working this map. They're working this B&E team all across the board.
More inside smoke, trying to do some damage. That'll push them back from long, so they've already given up that map control to the CTs. That win will allow them to rotate off and then fortify toward mid. I even got a Molotov out to cover off Catwalk, just in case anyone was trying to lurk up there during that exchange.
Yeah, keep an eye on the utility for Bad News Eagles, though. They only have one smoke, so you can't have a clean execute on a mid to B split. You only have the one smoke down in CT spawn, which gives XANTARES an ability to be aggressive on top of the boxes. That's where they're headed right now. 3 players out mid, 1 on Catwalk. Maybe buying time for the op to get a dry peek up through CT spawn, see if he can pick off a rotate or anyone leisurely strolling down the ramp.
This is a tough one to recover from as well. If you're Bad News Eagles coming into this, you have such a massive start. The momentum's high. You're super into it emotionally.
Another B hit.
And now you're going to be in trouble to try and recover this in future at best of ones. But here we go. Best of B, as it seems. And Major, once again, in that same position. Trying to support mid this time with his flash, but they got to be quicker on it. The hit actually has 2 prongs. Emor fortunately covers out middle, but the entries are astounding this time.
Yeah, Eternal Fire gets caught thinking that it's going to be way more bodies in middle than it was in B tunnels. They were wrong on that, but also Paz's defensive smoke is very deep, so they're able to get through it. This still isn't over, though. 3-on-3. Utility. They have HE grenades. They've got a smoke as well. That nade is going to go way too deep. Juanflatroo in the corner, ready and waiting. Got a crossfire. Scenario still at the default plant spot. Here's the retake. Good flash over, but the crossfire does its job, and there goes Emor. And woxic might want to back away. He's got plenty of money, though, so he's going to at least give it the old college try. And Bad News Eagles finally on the board in the second half.
Just like me in college, he strikes out, Jason. It's 13-13. They at least get one. You're absolutely right on this T side. Something maybe to look forward to.
Puts a stop to a 10-round run at the very least. It lets you have, like, it just, even if it's for a moment, even if it's just one, a sigh of relief. But the deep smoke in upper dark from Eternal Fire, from Paz's defense, and Majors, as you mentioned earlier, playing a very supportive role. He's just playing with, like, flash in hands when they feel the pressure. That gave a lot of space for BNE to move up in those holes. Those two things combined. Swinging around the smoke, Emor's going to get the kill.
Yeah, down he goes, Mr. Rigon from this round. GXX, stupid corpse in the way, doesn't matter, finds XANTARES. That'll bring it back to a 4-on-4, gives them a bit to work with at long. All 4 players there right now, but Synopsy's gonna go throw some utility, a Molotov out to Catwalk that will at least let them consider, or have to consider, the fact that there could be someone coming from that direction. It's down to a 3-on-3, make it one better. GXX with the shot on Major.
Ooh, they're gonna disappear as well. They're gonna back away. woxic doesn't have information. There's still a smoke wall up, so Paz can get caught. He's looking towards top mid where they expect this. GXX jumping around the corner. Ooh, gets the conversion on the second burst. Needs another. Scenari barely survives. Paz down low, but woxic and Paz know what's happening. Bomb is making its way towards the B bomb site. But they're split. Scenari slow plays this.
Synopsy has to be so careful about this, you're right. His teammate's only getting to the tunnels now. Oh, woxic's a step further forward, he sees that cross.
I don't know if you even want to go for the plant quite yet. Just be patient.
He's gonna drop in and go for it. Planning from the ledge too, so he can immediately counter back the position, try and see window with a headshot. Not a bad decision given the circumstances. Flash into the tunnels. Synopsy with the first, low HP on the second. Scenari makes no mistake, and it's 2 in a row for the Eagles.
Okay, all they needed one and the floodgates open. Paz has $12,000 coming into this round, so he can drop rifles to whoever needs it. XANTARES and Major are a little bit busted. But this is the last of the economy for Eternal Fire. Not completely broke if they were to lose this round, but it does put it into a tight spot, tight buy moving forward if they can't win this. Bad News Eagles 2 together. Trying to put down this comeback.
Wow, this is the last time out to do it, and it's interesting that you suddenly feel the pressure to call a timeout. But yeah, there's only 2 rounds to the finish, so despite you had this incredible half, you need to make sure you don't let it slip away, this comeback that has been very resounding.
Yeah, it's been great.
Well, the problem is, just like in the first half, though, the money gets quite weak pretty quickly. Good old CT side and the taxes you got to pay to the government makes things expensive. Not here in Malta, though. It's only 5%.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Major's gonna cross the double doors. Sole B defender. Synopsy challenging with the op. Always gonna get the opening kill. Bad News Eagles spend most of this half quiet and out of it. And they've come back in a huge way. 5-on-4 in round 28.
Meir holding off toward the B side of the map. The AWP up close as well, so a bit of a different approach.
They switch into a double op setup right at the end of the day. Bad News Eagles haven't seen this.
Nade goes out. Major's gonna try and get back into it, caught by the flash. This time has to reposition. So the whole time he's been back at the box. Now he'll get closer, but he brings XANTARES over with him. That weakens up middle, though. Because they've gone for an aggressive long and car hold at A.
Yeah, it's the lurk smoke at the end of tunnels for Bad News Eagles that makes XANTARES and Major a little bit nervous that there's a pop lining up behind it. They're spending a lot of time, as you mentioned, the B bomb site. So Catwalk, the name of the game, and this time Bad News Eagles have plenty of nades for the final stage of this execute.
Well, and they know as well that AWP already fired a shot over toward the B side of the map, but they don't know that there's two. Maybe they anticipated, given that they know Voxic's position hasn't been B traditionally.
One more flashbang, but it's on Rio, and he's out towards long. They've got no flashbang to force woxic off this angle, so he'll have a chance.
Tough one to hit, though. You flick too far to the right, you hit the closer edge. Doesn't matter. His reaction time is perfect for Gon's going to take down Immor this time, so that's one exchange in the favor. And Voxic gets off the AWP, knowing he's going to have to fight more aggressively than that. XANTARES trying to come over and support this. Down a man, another bomb plans, and Bad News Eagles looking for map point, but the 2 kills come in already. We've seen retakes already in this half that have been very successful for Eternal Fire. This could be another if they're not careful. GXX staring toward the bomb box. Flatro that's up toward the corner instead, though, that's got the next. XANTARES down, he follows it. Voxic is the next, and he looks away the wrong time, Major. It's a triple for Juan. Yeah, they make it 15-13.
They had nothing to flush him out of those boxes. He even keeps fighting after the fact. GXX just holding the angle, and all 3 for juanflatroo. 14-13. It was 10 in a row to start the half for Eternal Fire. They brought it back to take a 13-12 lead, and now it's been 3 straight. Bad News Eagles come right back into it.
Not bad. Now look at them. They're back.
Yeah, they're back in the room.
3 in a row. And if Juan were to win 1 round, would Juan win 1 round to make it map point? It's a Formula 1 reference. Don't worry about it.
1 round to only need 1 more round?
Yeah.
Could have gone there as well.
That would have worked. Someone will know the reference.
Well, 2 chances to close it out. No timeouts now. Both teams have fully depleted their timeouts in this game to get to this position. And we talked about the busted economy of Eternal Fire after the double op investment in the previous round. woxic has an AWP with no armor. 2 SMGs, a pistol, and a FAMAS surround it. And no kits.
Oh. He's good through the doors, this Voxic guy, isn't he?
Yeah, GXX, that might be some inexperience. Gets baited by the jumping player. Look at Major. What a call to make on an individual level in a round like this. Money's in a really bad spot for Bad News Eagles as well. They have to be careful.
Shot through smoke. XANTARES with 1. Get the headshot clean. That nades. Oh, good night. Goodbye. Easy one to call that time with only 3 HP. As Major's going to try and swing, though. MP9 from distance. It can be so devious. But he's going to try and be mischievous with a smoke out. He's able to get Rigon down. Hang on. Not done just yet. Bad News Eagles with 1 man. And it's Synopsy that will put the ball down on top of the site.
You can win this. Still the 2 SMGs on board. One will be swapped out to an AK-47, but he needs to find the presence on Catwalk. Actually, excuse me, it's going to be 2 players on Catwalk, both the SMGs. I think he's in trouble. Oh, he spots 1 more, and he can't do it. Eternal Fire survived the scare. 14-15, 1 more chance for B&E.
We have overtime in the first game of the RMR, Jason?
Yeah, it would be so fitting, wouldn't it? That plant is going to help out massively on the money for Bad News Eagles. I'll tell you what, though, that peek through the wall of smokes at long, Eternal Fire have done that every single time they've seen a wall of smoke. Someone has come up to just kind of take that blind spam with a flashbang, and Bad News Eagles have ran into it like 3 to 4 times in this half. That peek has gotten a kill each and every time.
Oxide, as someone who's been in a car with them, I can't disagree with you more. Back to the game now, shall we, Jason?
Back to the game. Back in the room. AWP in the hands of GXX, AK-47s. I mean, it's a good buy in terms of weaponry for Bad News Eagles. They're missing a little bit of nades. They're missing some of the utility they'd like down the stretch. They've got 1 more chance. Or as you mentioned, we go to overtime. I can't believe Eternal Fire's fought back into this. 12-3, a huge run to start the second half. One more round to win. And then you've completed the comeback.
Fadeaway jumper on the nade. Doesn't land. One that's going to try and flash in his teammate up above. Rigon that wants the angle. Can't spot it just yet, but will continue forward. Nade out. Bit of damage, but not much. B instead. Smoke And then the Molotov, that's gonna hold him at an off angle. That's spreading. Juan's gonna get back inside. He does. But goes back out immediately after. Avoids the flash. 2 men here. This is a crossfire setup. Major's caught. He's not in his box this time. Paz. Desperate to try and get a shot out. Only finds one. And then juanflatroo's able to find Major as well as Paz. So that opens up B site.
Oh, and GXX lurking in middle. Ready and waiting. Oh, baited out. XANTARES shows a little bit of barrel, and there it goes. 3-on-3 retake. 2 kits. They've got flashbangs. They have a smoke. And this is the first time B&E have been able to pull off this mid to B split. They would love to win it, obviously. It would be a map victory for them to start the RMR.
Would be indeed. Perfect start as well, and a disaster for Eternal Fire. Shot in. Scenari's got 2. He doubles it up. It's all down to Woxic. He's got 3 to find. This is gone. There's no chance he gets into this bomb, and Synopsy will close it. It took them a while. It got far closer than they would have liked. All 30 rounds required. But the Bad News Eagles are going into the 1-0 bracket.
Yeah, that's a huge struggle for such an impressive first half that they had, but well done to the Bad News Eagles team to keep their minds, their wits about them, and make sure Eternal Fire cannot come all the way back. Victory for B&E. Desk is up next, and then we continue with the road to Rio.